Hi everyone, this is John. In this tutorial I'm going to talk about namespaces. First things first, let's create a new project. Let's call this namespace tutorial. Create a console, select this console application. In C#, namespaces are an organization construct, which their purpose is to organize classes and make the code clearer. So without using namespaces, things can get a little messy. Therefore, we really need to learn how to use them. They start with the namespace keyword, and you have a namespace name here following the keyword. After that, you open up curly braces and you can insert classes in that namespace, and then these classes will belong to this namespace. Let's create the code, and let's write some example code and see how it works. Namespace. So this is the first namespace we're going to be using. Let's put a class inside this namespace and I want to call this class class1. Okay, now let's put a function in this class1. Func is good. And inside this function, I'm just going to print out the namespace, name of the namespace. And we are inside namespace first space. Okay. Now let's create a second namespace so we can practice the differences. This time I will also name this class1, because since they are under different namespaces, I can have the same class. Not the same class, but the class with the same name on the different namespaces. So let me write this and let's build. Looks like the build was a success. There was no issues. However, the reason for this to work is because even though we have the same class name, they are on the different namespaces. Now if I take this class and let's say I cut this and I paste this under the same namespace, and let's build it. Now we have a problem because you cannot use the same class name under one namespace. Okay, you can change it to class2 maybe in this namespace and build a solution. Then it's fine. Now there's no problem, it builds okay. But if you change it to the same as this one, then it's not going to work. So anyway, let's remove this class for now and put it down here, and I'm going to name them the same thing, class1. Inside this class1, I'm going to have a function with the same name. Only difference is going to be the output of this function. Console.writeLine. We are inside namespace second space. As you can see, there's two different outputs. In the first one, we are inside namespace first space, and inside and the second one is the second space. It refers to the namespace of the class of this function. Okay. Now let's go back to our program class where the main line runs, and we are going to declare these, make a reference to these namespaces. So whenever you need to use a class that is under a namespace, first you have to use that namespace's name. So if you want to call this function here, okay, you need to have a class declared, class 1 declared, but in order to declare this class, you need to access it through the namespace of that class. And that would look like this. First space, which is the name. As you can see, the Visual Studio highlighted these two the same words for me, and then a dot. In the dot you can get the class 1, okay, because that's the class we need for the function. And then here is, and we're gonna use this as a type, and here's the name of our new variable, first class, okay, equals to new first space class 1. This is how we create a variable in C# with the new type, and it's also assigned some memory. So now we're gonna do the same thing for the second namespace. Second class. Right. Now let's call the functions. Oh, I made a mistake. It has to be second space. Now let's call the functions of these classes. This function is supposed to print out this, and the second one is supposed to print out this. Okay, and at the end, let's just put a console read key function so that we just, the compiler stops at the end of the program, and then let's run it. So as you can see, our output is, the first one prints out this message first under the first space, and the second one prints out this statement. So first one prints out this statement, and the second line prints out this statement. How did that happen? Here the FC variable is a type first space dot class 1, and the SC variable is a second space dot class 1. Thank you for watching. In the next video, I'm going to talk more about namespaces.